need to get to, you old smelly bird.
We mute him.
We did.
All right.
All right, everyone. Happy Friday. This is the 187 District Court. This is the rules for this court. To all the inmates, you are not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back to your cell. For all the inmates, this is not a time for you to pick up dates. This is not the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. If you try to pick up dates while you're on this screen, you will be sent back to your cell. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically assign you to a room. For all the attorneys, if you have an agreement, no matter how small the agreement, you need to send that into a chat box to the coordinator. She is listed on the screen as Ferguson coordinator. Okay, I'm going to call the names of the attorneys. This is the order in which you will appear to the defendants. If you do not hear your attorney's name, do not be overly concerned. They are zooming in another courtroom, but your attorney will be here today. Everyone else, even though you're at your home or wherever you may be, you are technically in the 187 District Court. There is to be appropriate behavior. What that means is there will not be the cooking of breakfast. There will not be smoking. There will not be wearing hats. If you do not behave as you would if you were physically in the courtroom, then you're going to be required to appear in the courtroom. All right, I'm going to call the names of the attorneys. This is the order in which you'll appear. If you need to zoom out to another courtroom based upon how you see yourself on the list, you're more than welcome to zoom to another courtroom. However, if your name and case is called and you are not here, you will go to the end of the line. When I call your name, let me know you are here. If you do not hear your name, let me know so I can put you on the list. John Young.
Here.
Matthew Hernandez.
Present.
Sean Dawes. Vincent Callahan.
I'm sorry, I'm here.
Thank you.
Callahan here.
James Toshi. Fernando Cortez.
Present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Brian Oriel. Raymond
Here.
Martinez.
Present, Judge.
Gary Hillier.
Present, Your Honor.
Robert Maurer.
I'm here.
Martin Guerra.
Present.
Glenn Payne. Tony Hernandez. Is there
Present,
any?
Judge, and that case was dismissed.
What was your case?
Albert Bosquez, Judge, 2020 CR 12340.
All right, states, were those cases dismissed?
Yes, Judge.
All right, then you and your attorney are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, is there any attorney's name that I missed?
Adam Cardenas, Judge.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, I'm gonna
Judge,
go. Yes. He's frozen. All right. I'm going to call your name. When I call your name, attorneys, I'm going to put you in a waiting room. Prosecutors will meet you in the waiting room. I'm going to ask that you please be patient in the waiting room. Think of it this way. When you go to see your doctor and the nurse calls your name to go back, you're really not going back to see the doctor. They're putting you in a room. They're checking your blood pressure. They're checking your weight. There are a number of you on the screen. We only have a limited number of prosecutors. So just be patient. The prosecutors are able to see what room you are in and go there. So John Young, who is your client?
Anthony Salinas.
And can you tell me, is it criminal trial division or family violence?
I believe it's family violence.
All right, let me check. Yes, it's family violence. I'll send you to breakout room number 1. The prosecutor will meet you there. Next person is Vincent Callahan. Who do you have?
Kadreen Pugh.
All right, that is criminal trial division, and I know why you're here, but I'm going to put you in breakout room number 2. A prosecutor will meet you there to discuss the open case.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. James Toshi. All right, I think we've lost him. Fernando Cortez.
Yes, Judge, we were here yesterday. We already conferred with the state. We'll be needing a trial setting, and Mr. Trevino is here under the name of Brynwood.
All right,
That's
what's your
my
client's full name?
Alberto Trevino.
All right, Alberto Trevino, where are you?
You need to unmute. He just waved, Your Honor. He needs to unmute.
All right. Could you please unmute for me?
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Did you have a chance to confer with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and did your attorney give you the state's offer?
He did talk to me, but since I trust him, so I'm gonna.
The answer is yes.
Here's the
I
thing.
gave
I
you
don't
the-
want to know what the offer was. I don't want to know the facts of your case. I just want you to listen to my question, okay? I'm not allowed to know the facts of the case before the case is heard. So my only question for you is, did your attorney give you the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And are you rejecting that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, defense, are there any outstanding discovery issues?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so state on this case, I'm going to have the acknowledgement of discovery due on March 31st.
Fernando, can you chat me your email, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And it goes to Alexander Williamson. And then your plea deadline date, Mr. Trevino, is going to be in April. Norma, could you recall this for maybe the 3rd week in April, please?
Yes, ma'am. Which will be April 14th.
April 14th?
Yes,
Got it.
ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. Cortez, we're going to be back on April 14th.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Trevino, this is a fairly new case. So even though you're saying that you want a jury trial, I want you to have a chance to think about that. And I always give people plea deadline dates, and I have not given you one, okay?
Okay.
So your plea deadline date is going to be April 14th in this case. And we're going to come back on April 14th as well, okay?
All right.
And it will be by Zoom, so just appear by Zoom.
Okay.
All right. With that, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, the next person up is Brian Oriel.
Happy Friday, Judge.
Happy Friday. Who do you
Here,
have?
I have Mr. Matthew Hernandez. He was accepted into the PTD program. We have been able to sign the paperwork and submit it over to the PTD division with Beatrice Chavez.
All right, Norma, when can this come back?
30 days, Judge.
All right, give me the date.
April 2nd.
All right, we'll be back on April 2nd to get an update on the PTD and how it's going.
All righty, Judge.
All right, you and your client are excused. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much. You too.
All right, the next person up is Raymond Martinez.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Who do you have?
Judge Aramisa Gutierrez, it's a motion to revoke, and we were here recently, and I think we have an agreement already worked out, Judge.
All right, if you can put that in the chat box to Norma. And how do you spell the first name?
ADAMIZA,
And the last name?
Gutierrez, GUTIERREZ.
All right, and is this criminal trial division?
I believe so, Judge. It's been a motion to revoke, so I've been focused on that. I didn't really notice what the underlying case was.
Okay, let me look for it. Yes, it is criminal trial division. So I'm going to send you and your client to a breakout room. If you have not let Norma know what the agreement is, let her know now, and she'll need your client's email address so she can send her the appropriate paperwork.
I'll do that right now, Judge.
All right, and I'll send you to breakout room number 3, and I'll send your client to number 3 with you.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez, if you go to breakout room number 3, please. All right, Gary Hillier.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Who do you have?
I have Miss Sarah Stokes, Judge. Do you need the cause number?
No, what's the first name?
Sarah Stokes, Judge, and she is wearing a black jacket and a white shirt. She's on the.
All right, is this criminal trial division?
It is, Judge. Yes, I was speaking to Mr. Brown last time.
All right. I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. John Young, you're back.
I am, Your Honor. It is on a bond setting. And honestly, I don't know. I'm starting to be confused here because I thought it was that a new charge had been filed, but it was a charge that pre-existed him being put on bond. The prosecutor can't find anything like that. And I was appointed in court to represent him in October because the previous attorney and he couldn't get along.
All right, so what is the issue?
I want to get it. He's remanded without bond, and I'd like to have him his bond reinstated at $10,000 and a partial GPS.
All right. Well, the question would be, why is he remanded without bond?
And we think that you may be the only one that knows that.
I don't keep any secrets.
Yeah, I looked in file 360 and there's nothing scanned as far as a violation report, or there's nothing in the system showing like he FTA'd or anything.
All right. Well, so the remand without bond, is it on the 2020 case?
Yes, that's the only one I see open.
All right. I'm going to have the clerks look into this because there is nothing on the docket sheet showing that I remanded him without bond. So to the clerks in the back, could you please provide me with a history on 2020 CR 5977?
Yes, Judge, I'll take a look at it right now.
Thank you. So we will find out what's going on and then we'll address your issues. Jordan, I did make you co-host. All right, the next person up is Robert Maurer.
Judge, I have Geronimo Hernandez. It's family violence. I'm supposed to have some Brady information from the state today.
Yeah, we don't give that out.
All right.
Joe Gonzalez does.
Yeah. I'm going to send you out of breakout room number 5.
I don't see him on the screen anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll bring him in by chat.
Okay. All right. So I'm sending you to breakout room number 5. Prosecutor will meet you there and just let me know what's the issue with discovery, if it's been completed or not.
Okay.
Martin Guerra.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Who do you have?
Adrian Arias, and we're here on a discovery compliance issue, and actually it's already been taken care of since the last time we were here.
Okay. Let me look. So I will send you, is this a family violence case?
CTD, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room just to confer with the state. So we can see where we are. I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Glenn Payne. Glenn Payne. Yes. Who do you have?
I have Mr. Edward Ford. I was speaking to David Martin about it, but I can't find my client, Mr. Edward Ford.
All right,
I'm
we
trying to
shall see.
verify the condition of our deal. I think we may have a deal once he signs on.
All right, well, we will see what
He
happens.
He came in as the world's best last time. He took your moniker. I don't know if you recall. I don't know if I don't see him.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 7. A prosecutor will meet you there, and I give everyone till 10:30 to appear.
All right, thanks, Judge.
Sure. Adam Cardenas.
Yes, Judge, good morning.
Good morning. Who do you have?
Judge, I've got Jihad Pollard.
How do you spell the first name?
Jihad, Jihad.
Okay, and is it family violence or criminal trial division?
It's criminal trial division. It's an MTR, Judge.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 8. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Okay. Marcus had already extended an offer, which my client accepted, Judge.
All right. Is your client in custody?
Yes.
All right. If you will put in the chat box what the agreement is to Norma Ferguson. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator, so we can go over that.
All right, but I think I better confer with the state just to make sure, Judge.
All right, sure. I'll send you to breakout room number 8.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, all right, thank you. So number 8, and then Adam LaHood. You're muted.
There we go. Sorry, Judge. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, all right. So who do you have?
I have Mary Thigpen. We're here on discovery compliance. The state was able, we were having issues with formatting from last time. They were able to get everything redone, and they turned over 112 gigabytes of discovery on Wednesday, which I'm pouring through. Also, there are 4 cases that are still under seal. They actually gave me discovery on them already, and we anticipate they're going to be unsealed here pretty soon.
All right, who's the prosecutor you're conferring with?
Marcus Sanders.
All right, so you say there are other cases that are under seal?
Yes, ma'am. There's 4 ag robberies, and then there's 4 more that should be unsealed here. I would anticipate very, very soon. They actually gave me discovery on them yesterday.
All right, so there are no more discovery issues?
At this time, no. I think we got past all the, it was a video formatting issue, and I think we're past it.
All right, Norma, on Miss Thigpen.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give them a month reset?
Yes, April 9th.
April 9th?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do you need to speak with your client?
No, I'm gonna, once I get everything sorted, I'm gonna set up a time and probably spend a few hours at the jail with her.
All right, Miss Thigpen, you can unmute yourself? All right, do you have any questions about the process?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you on April 9th, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right,
Here,
Norma,
may we be excused?
yes.
I'm sorry.
And Norma, can you let them know that Miss Thigpen is excused?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if everyone will just give me a moment, please. All right, James Toshi, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I have Stephen Garcia. It's a family violence case. I've been conferring with David Martin for actually several months, Judge. At this point, we're just going to need a trial setting.
All right, is your client present?
Well, I just texted him a few minutes ago. I don't know.
All right, is there Stephen Garcia here? All right, I give everyone till 10:30.
I will find him, Judge, and make sure that he zooms in.
All right, and on Anthony Salinas, Mr. John Young.
Ready.
Hi. The reason your client was remanded without bond is that he was in violation of the no contact order. And have you received a copy of the violation report?
I believe that must have happened before I was appointed to represent him. I did not, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I can tell you, I will listen to whatever evidence you want to present, but someone who's on bond for violation of protective order, and then they violate the no contact order while they're on bond for a violation of protective order, those are issues for the court. So I actually found the violation report, and I am the one who remanded him without bond because he was violating the no contact order with Denise Valdez.
And he has done his time in purgatory, and he is ready to get back out and work. He has, I've talked to his prospective boss. It's a small construction operation.
Here's the thing though, John, I hear what you're saying. I'm internalizing what you're saying, but let me read to you what the violation report says. Now, mind you, your client is on bond for violation of protective order. It says the above referenced defendant is currently in non-compliance due to the following violations. The above defendant is currently in non-compliance with the no contact order. Detective Barnett with the Special Victims Unit contracted pretrial services on October 15, 2020, and provided a police report of the defendant who is in violation of the no contact order. Mr. Salinas, I'm going to mute you for a moment. The victim recently moved her place of residence and information was not updated in the Bexar County pretrial services. Therefore, the defendant's contact with the victim did not generate an exclusion zone alert. This officer verified the victim's new address with Detective Barnett, and an exclusion zone was placed on the victim's new address today, October 15th, to verify the tracks. This officer ran the defendant's tracks on the day of the incident reported to SAPD, and tracks show the defendant was outside the victim's residence. So.
And I don't believe he knew that that was her residence, Your Honor, because nobody else knew either.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you, if you want to go to a breakout room, talk to your client. And if you want to hear this motion and the state wants to provide witnesses, the state can provide witnesses. But I have an issue with someone who is violating a no contact order when they're on bond for violation of a protective order.
I understand that, Your Honor. Let me talk to my client.
All right. Mr. Salinas, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. All right. Robert Maurer, you're back.
Yes, Judge David has the Brady information. He's gonna send it. He's gonna send a Brady form along with the statement by email. So I have but that should complete all my discovery, and it's gonna remain on the trial docket.
Okay. So what I'm going to do then, if that completes all the discovery, state, I'm going to ask for a discovery acknowledgement by March 26th. Is that doable, state?
Yes.
Judge, you want me to log back on or just sign it and send it back? Whatever.
No, you can just sign it and send it back.
Okay.
And then Norma, can you recall Geronimo Hernandez in 1 month, please?
Yes, ma'am. It'll be April 9th.
All right, then we'll come back on April 9th. And Mr. Hernandez, April 9th will be your plea deadline date. I always give people a plea deadline date. And where is your client? I don't see him typing in.
He should.
I see him now. All right, so we're going to come back on April 9th, and that will be your plea deadline date. So, Mr. Hernandez, anyone you need to talk to confer about whether or not you should accept a plea in this case, you need to do it before that time. And then on April 9th, you can let me know. All right, everyone, just give me one moment, please. And Mr. Maurer, if there's nothing else, you and your client are excused.
That is it, Judge. Have a good weekend.
All right, thank you. You too. All right, the next person up is Martin Guerra.
Yes, Your Honor. I just conferred with Alexandra, and the video that I had requested has been provided to me. So we have everything at this point, although we are still asking for a trial.
All right. Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's on bond, and I don't know if he's in here or not. I don't see his name, but
Oh, the world's greatest dad is coming in. All right. Adrian Arias, where are you? All right, you want to try to get in touch with your client? I give everyone till 10:30.
okay, Your Honor, I will do that, and I will send him in here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, can you send Pollard to room 8?
All right, Mr. Pollard, I'm sending you to breakout room number 8. James Toshi.
John Young back.
Yes.
Yes, I guess I need a hearing, and if that's going to be with the evidence we're going to present. He was stopping off at a cousin's house to drop off food for them, that he helped them. He didn't get out of the car.
All right, Norma.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you set Mr. Anthony Salinas for a bond hearing?
Okay. Give me 1 second, Judge. Let me.
Is everybody okay with setting it soon? Or we can set it the week of the 15th or whenever you all are available.
I don't have a life, you know that.
Yeah, I can do it on the 15th, Judge.
Okay. All right.
That's March, I hope.
Yes, March 15th.
At 9 o'clock?
Yes. And the judge who will be hearing that will be Judge Angelini.
Oh, you're just too kind, Your Honor.
What date was this?
March 15th.
Oh, I'm not here anyway.
Judge, did you say Angelini or her will be here that week in March?
It will be Judge Angelini. That's
You're
the
going to
availability.
cause a lot of people to take vacation time.
All right, we are on Zoom. We are live.
Thank you, Your
We are
Honor.
live. All right.
Am I excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you're excused. And Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Salinas can go back? Mr. Salinas, we'll recall your case on March 15th. And state, if you want to have, you're welcome. And state and defense, if you want to have the pretrial services officer here, then you can have them here.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Who is with all the noise? All right. Norma, Mr. Salinas can go back.
Yes, I already called them, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Denny Callahan, you're back on Mr. Adrian Kadreem Pugh, I'm sorry.
Yes. We're not going to reach an agreement without the Court of Criminal Appeals ruling, and the case is submitted on March 17th.
All right. So are there any outstanding discovery issues on this case?
No, Your Honor, the evidence is identical to the jury trial in front of you that we had before.
Okay. And which cause number are we going on in this case? Is this the felon in possession?
You're gonna, yes, that'd be the one coming up next.
All right. So Norma, can you give this a 30-day reset, please? And at that time, Mr. Pugh, I'll give you a plea deadline date.
April 9th.
All right, we'll come back on April 9th. All right, and if there's nothing else, you and your client are excused. Do you need to speak with your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Pugh can go back?
He was raising his hand, Judge.
Yes, if you'll unmute. Yes, Mr. Pugh, you had some questions?
Yes, I would like to speak to Mr. Callahan regarding the remainder without bond. I'm trying to do appeals bond and I hadn't been able to get any cooperation out of him.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1 and Mr. Callahan will speak to you about that.
Thank you.
All right, if you go to breakout room number 1, please. All right, is there anyone else who's back from the breakout room?
You just instruct them to come back.
Yes. Just one moment, everybody.
Suspect says that she sticks her arm out and then
All right, anyone else back from the breakout room? All right, I will see if I have any paperwork to sign.
Judge, may I jump in here for a second?
Just give me one moment. Let me sign this paperwork. Yes.
Judge, on my MTR with Artemisa Gutierrez, Marcus Sanders just chatted that he has signed a motion to withdraw that and motion to revoke.
All right. Let me see if I have that. Okay, the staff here is so quick. I just received it. All right, you and your client are excused.
Judge, may I zoom back in after your docket clears out a little bit to talk about a case that the state and I have been conferring about a bond on?
Yes. Make that 11 o'clock.
Maybe a little bit after, Judge. I have it 11 o'clock in the 290th, but I'll get you before lunch for sure.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
let's charge that over the hood, but how much fear can you be in the black hole? Starting to do this way, is there any allegation that you kind of no question with this? No, but
All right, is there anyone else who's ready? Gary
Judge,
Hilliard?
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
Just conferred with Mr. Brown. I believe we're here for a discovery compliance. He's got everything that he can get that we requested. There's still a slight issue with some medical records that the detective can't find, and we discussed the possibility of subpoenaing those. We have an offer with an agreement from myself to go away and grab some and get hold of some mitigation information and to submit to Mr. Brown before our next sitting.
All right, Norma, can you give them a 30-day reset, please?
April 9th.
All right, so April 9th
Thank you, Your Honor.
is your next date. And at that date, I will give you your plea deadline date. So Ms. Stokes, if there's anyone you need to speak to concerning whether or not you should enter a plea into this case, you need to do it by then. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing else, and you said you do have all the discovery, or are you still waiting on medical?
Well, we're waiting on medical, but I just letting the court know Mr. Brown has done his bit and requested it. That the detective doesn't have it himself. So we discussed possibly subpoenaing those records.
All right, so what we'll do, we'll come back on April 9th. On April 9th, defense, you need to have already subpoenaed those records. And on April 9th, I'm going to give your client a plea deadline date.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Not from the defense, Judge.
All right, so April 9th, medical records should be subpoenaed. And on April 9th, when you come back, I'll give you your plea deadline date.
Thank you.
All right, if you have nothing else, you and your client are excused.
No, sir.
All right, have a good Friday and a good weekend.
Thank you. Same to you, Judge.
All right, thanks, bye-bye. Vincent Callahan, you're back.
Present.
All right. Do you need to speak with your client anymore?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Pugh, do you have any other questions? All right, Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Pugh can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
And James Toshi, you're joining with audio. Sean Dawes?
I'm right here.
Yes.
Okay, oops. I guess I'm here on it's a pretrial violation. He seems to have had picked up a DWI, my client.
Yes, that's why you're here for a pretrial violation report. Have you had a chance to confer with the state?
No, Your Honor. In fact, is it Tom that's handling it, or?
I can.
All right, I'll see you in the breakout room.
I can.
Okay.
I like me some Sean Dawes.
I'll see
Thank
you in
you.
breakout room number 1.
All right, thanks.
Thanks. James Toshi, you're back and your client is here.
The judge, he told me that he was. I don't see him on the screen. But
Yes, he was
there he
here.
is.
I saw him on the screen.
Yes, he is. So I've been conferring with David. If you can just, I guess, I don't know if we're in a trial setting mode right now.
Always.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, has all the discovery been tendered?
Well, I believe so. David did just drop off some items yesterday in disk format that I've yet to review. So I want to say at this point, yes, ma'am, but maybe David knows if there's some things that he's yet to drop off.
The only thing I didn't drop off was the forensic interview, but
okay,
legally I can't give that to you. So.
Right.
Yeah,
I just didn't
everything
know if
else. Yeah, I copied everything. There are a couple of things that weren't scanned into e-discovery that I copied in paper form and dropped off, and so that should be everything.
So to that extent, Judge, yes, ma'am, I feel I have all the discovery. There is an issue that I want to discuss as well on this case, Judge?
Yes.
He's been on GPS, I want to say, for about a year now, and I don't believe he's had any blemishes. I've discussed with David the possibility of having it removed. I'll let David address that issue, but I don't think he has heartburn on it. He will not have contact with the complaining witness and has not had contact. I did file a motion yesterday, and I'm hoping the court will grant my request today.
State, are you available to hear that motion today, or do you need more time?
No, we'll leave it up to you, Judge.
All right, to the clerks in the back, could I have a motion that was filed today on Stephen Garcia? It's 2020 CR 4949, please.
Yes, Judge.
All right,
I'm going to take it to you right now.
Thank you. And Norma, can we recall this in 30 days, please?
April 9th.
All right, Mr. Garcia, this is an old case. We're coming back here on April 9th. That is going to be your plea deadline date. Whomever you need to talk to, that you want to talk to figure out whether or not you accept, you want to accept a plea in this case, you need to do that. And I say that because I get a lot of people who will come in on the day that I've given them a plea deadline date, and they say, oh, I need to talk to my mom, or I need to talk to my dad, or whoever they need to talk to. So a decision needs to be made by you on or before April 9th, whether or not you're accepting the plea offer that the state has tendered. Do you understand? I need you to unmute.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
May I address the court, Callahan?
Yes.
May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Good to see you.
All right, you too.
Do I stay on here, Judge?
Yes, you do.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so I'm seeing the motion you filed was a motion to waive the GPS fees.
It was, Judge. It was not a motion to remove it. However, during my discussions yesterday with David, I said, I'm just going to ask for that, and I'll file that formal request for removal, but I'm asking for it orally, Judge. I don't think David's opposed to it.
All right, I tell you what, I'll grant the motion to waive fees, and if your client cannot pay for if they won't waive the fees, just let me know and come back, and then the court will consider removal. But since your written motion is for the waiver of the GPS fees, I'll grant that. And I'll also add that your client is placed on the indigent list as it relates to the GPS fees.
Okay.
And so placing him on the indigent list should remove the issues as it relates to the GPS fees. But if it doesn't, just come back as soon as possible, and I will hear your motion to actually remove it.
Okay. And Judge, if I can, I'd like to come back later in the morning to discuss the MTR that we heard earlier in the week.
Yes.
I know that it's kind of created a bit of a stir for me as well. So I'm going to come back later this morning, if that'd be okay.
If later, it has to be before lunchtime.
It will be.
All right. Thank you. You and your client are excused. We'll see you back on April 9th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're
Stephen, I'll
welcome.
call you.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Adam Cardenas.
Judge, we've got an agreement, and I just sent a message to Norma, but we're ready on that MTR on Jihad.
Okay.
Alert.
All
They're
right.
not ready, Judge. I'm still sending over paperwork, Judge.
All right. Just give us a moment.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right. And Norma, on Linda Corley, Motion to inspect vehicle. I've already signed that,
Okay, thank you.
but we do need David Woodard on Shelley Vaughn.
He's running a few minutes late, Judge. He'll be logging in a few minutes.
All right, thank you. Hello, Dan Rodriguez.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi, you have Julian Barrios.
Yes, Your Honor. I need a copy of the PSI so I can run through that with my client really quick.
All right. Rebecca, could you send a copy of the PSI to Dan Rodriguez, please?
I just need his email in the chat, please.
All right, let me send that to you. Hang on.
Mr. Cardenas, you should have both documents already in your email.
Okay, Norma, yeah, I signed one. I'll check for the other one then.
Okay.
All right, to the clerks, could you check your chat box, please? All right, Vincent Callahan, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Pugh would like you to lift the remand without bond order on the case now in front of the Court of Criminal Appeals. And then he wants you to allow or post reduces 3 cases to $10,000 bail bond, apparent corporate surety bail bonds. I don't think you will do that. The prosecutor opposes what I'm telling you or asking you. But the first step would be to lift the remand without bond. The only good reason would be that he won the case on the Court of Appeals.
Well, if everyone file a motion, I'll hear it.
I don't want to waste your time or do something frivolous, Your Honor. Can you give me any indication?
I mean, I really can't give you an indication until I read the motion. You know, I always keep an open mind on everything that's presented to me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Because the 42 was treated that the dog too old. The old man that lives in the apartment that I rented.
Okay, Your Honor, I have the PSI now.
Okay, let me see if there's a prosecutor available.
Could I get a breakout room with Mr. Barrios first to go over the PSI with him?
Sure, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you.
And Mr. Barrios, if you could go to 2. All right, Mr. Cardenas, do you know if the paperwork is still in your client's email? Because I have not received it.
That's what I was going to ask you. We could go to a breakout room, Judge, so I can get him to sign his part.
All right, Mr. Pollard, if you go to breakout room number 6, please, and your attorney will meet you in 6.
Okay, ma'am.
Mr. Pollard, did you go to the breakout room?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you sign all the paperwork?
No, ma'am. The screen had exited out of the entire meeting.
All right, I'm going to send you back to number 6.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Jacqueline Lamerson.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. You're here on Matthew Roberts.
That's correct.
All right. I don't see your client on the screen.
He was standing by. I think he was trying to conserve battery, so he was available for the court when the court needed him.
Okay. All right. I'll send you out to a breakout room to confer with the state. This appears to be a CTD case.
Correct.
I'll send you to breakout room number 3. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Very good.
All right. Is Glenn Payne in number 7 waiting for someone, or is he waiting for his client? It's family violence.
He was in there talking with his client at some point.
Okay, because I
got a message. Yeah, I got a message from him earlier asking me something about a plea. And then the last message I have from him, he said, okay, give me a minute. And he disappeared, I guess.
Well, he's still in the breakout room. State on Pollard, are you all requesting revocation?
Yes, Judge.
All right. All right, to the clerks in the back, you should have received a certificate on Pollard and also a consent to appear by video.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Can you really be the world's greatest if you can't spell the world's greatest?
Well, sometimes somebody, puts that up there, I guess. All right, Dan, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. I've gone over the PSI with my clients. I want to say this is an opposed offer. I'm not 100%. So I don't know if conferring with Marcus is the one I conferred with before, if he needs to confer with me about this before we begin.
I don't think so.
I don't have anything unless there's something you want to talk about.
All right, and this offer was. This offer was opposed. Could I see the prosecutor in the state in a breakout room, please? If you'll go to breakout room, back to breakout room number 2, and Marcus, as I can see you in breakout room number 2. And then Adam, just give me a moment.
Can you be there as well, Your Honor?
Yes, you're already there.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and Adam, just give me a second. I'm going to come back and take your case up. And Sean, who is your client?
Montoya Callahan.
I don't see them on the screen.
Yeah, I don't think she's here. Can I we have an offer from the state
All right,
to take care of the case. Is there any way I can just get some time and try and track her down?
All right, just give me one moment, okay?
Okay.
Dan Rodriguez, you're frozen in time. Ah, there he is.
Ms. Vaughn, you need to wait. Your attorney will be here shortly.
All right, we're going to take up the case of Jihad Pollard. Who is the prosecutor who's on this case, please?
It was Marcus.
Marcus, yeah.
All right, Mr. Pollard, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Court is calling 2017 CR 9531, State of Texas versus Jihad Pollard. We're going to have parties announced for the record, please, for the state.
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense.
Adam Cardenas.
All right, and are you Mr. Pollard?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No,
No, ma'am.
Mr. Pollard, I'm going to show you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am. I had electronically signed it.
All right, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation. Did you have a chance to review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
The second form, it wouldn't load up on the screen. It started glitching out the screen. So the guard just told me to wait until I see the judge and then tell her.
All right, state, are you proceeding on any of the allegations on the state's motion of supplement pending motion?
No, Judge, we can just do the original motion.
All right, so Mr. Pollard, the motion that you said you were unable to pull up and see on the screen, the state is saying they are not proceeding on the allegations in that motion. Do you still wish to see what the allegations are in that motion?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then what we'll do is I'll send you all back to a breakout room.
Judge,
And Mr.
if I
Carter?
might
Yes.
interject, I think Mr. Pollard is talking about or referring to the trial certification that he didn't get to see it. He's not talking about the MTR, Judge.
Okay.
He was able we did review the MTR and the supplement prior to the hearing. But I think now he's referring to the certification, but it did come through and I think he did sign it, Judge.
All right. So we'll start over. Mr. Pollard, I'm showing you this document. This document is entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review this document with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm going to show you state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation. Did you review this document with your attorney?
Yeah, I had that document pulled up on the screen.
Did you review this document with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Jihad Salhadin Pollard Jr. who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2017 CR 9531 for the offense of burglary of a habitation on January 10, 2018 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
From the original motion filed May 4th, 2020, condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Jihad Salahuddin Pollard Jr. did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer in person for the months of February, March, and April 2020 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? Mr. Pollard, how do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, ma'am.
We'll waive the rest.
All right, any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Pollard, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge Ayers, we're asking that you adjudicate, revoke, and sentence him to 2 years TDC.
Mr. Cardenas, is that the agreement?
It is, Judge.
Mr. Pollard, are you requesting that the court follow the agreement that has been reached?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Probation, do you know if the defendant has paid the $107 to Anna Fruto?
Let me verify that.
According to the court.
Judge, it looks like
Yes.
there's a balance of $58.14. Is that what you see, Marcus?
No, it still reflects the full amount in the court summary, but I guess it wasn't updated.
Oh, you know what? It might be because he still has time on his probation.
Okay.
The
So, but-
107.
So the amount he still owes is $58.14?
No, I'm sorry, the 107. The 58 is per the payment agreement.
So he owes $107.
Correct.
Okay. All right, the court will follow the agreement that has been reached. The court will find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, sentence you to 2 years in prison. There's restitution of $107 to Anna Fruto, F-R-U-T-O, give you credit for any time served. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Pollard, I'm showing you this document. It's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review it with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you've reached a plea bargain with the state, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because you are now a convicted felon, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. Mr. Pollard, you're at a crossroads in your life. Either you're gonna do what's right and get your life together, or either you're gonna be the person who's in and out of the prison system or is spending the rest of your life in prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Know better, do better.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. And Norma, if you can let them know that Mr. Pollard can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Joseph Acevedo, you're here on Joel Hernandez.
Yes, Your Honor, we've conferred. I don't have a resolution yet.
All right, Mr. Hernandez. Can you unmute yourself?
He's a Spanish speaker, Your Honor.
Norma, can you get a Spanish interpreter, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna get an interpreter in here. We'll be right with you. All right, Sean Dawes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, what is happening with your
We have an offer from the state. I'm not, I don't know if my client is present. If she is not, I would like some extra time to track her down. Initially, this was really set for a violation report issue. She had picked up a new offense, but the offer would take care of, will dispose of all of the cases. So if I could just have some time to, again, track her down.
All right, she's here on a violation report. Just one moment.
Yes, well, is she, if she isn't here, I'm sorry. I don't know if she answered the docket.
All right, Norma, could you please send me the violation report on Montoya Callahan?
Yes, ma'am.
David Woodard, you here on Shelley Vaughn? All right, while you all get that together, I'm going to go ahead and call the case
That's
on.
in your email already. I sent it.
I'm going to call the case on Julianne Barrios.
Present.
Thank you. And also, could you give me the one on Shelley Vaughn as well, too? Thank you. All right, Marcus. All right, anyone who's a part of this hearing is not a part of this hearing. I'm going to ask that you mute yourself. Court is calling 2020 CR 4221, State of Texas versus Julianne Barrios. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
Mr. Daniel Rodriguez for Mr. Barrios.
Are you Mr. Barrios?
Yes.
Proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Any objection from the defense?
No.
And the court will note for the record that Mr. Barrios consented to enter his plea by video, and his plea was taken on January 22nd, 2021. Mr. Barrios, do you have any objection appearing by video?
No, Your Honor.
All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court found there was sufficient evidence to find the defendant guilty. However, the court deferred finding of guilt as the defendant had applied for deferred adjudication. Thank you. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
Are there any objections to the PSI report from either side?
No, Judge.
No.
Mr. Barrios, I reviewed the PSI report. I previously sentenced the co-defendant in this case, and the state informed the court, and I believe the state informed your attorney that there was additional information. Is that correct, State?
Yes, Judge. There was information that we weren't aware of at the time of the plea that was revealed in the PSI. And I let Dan you guys know.
All right. Anything from defense before the court makes its ruling?
No, Your Honor. I received that additional information as well. And I mean, in my opinion, it's a piece of information that doesn't necessarily create a defense to the charge. Just so Mr. Barrios is aware, the co-defendant and the victim on this case were dating.
Okay, thank you. Everyone, if you're not a part of this hearing, I need you to mute yourself.
And I don't know if Mr. Barrios was aware of that your co-defendant and the victim on this case were dating each other or had some type of relationship with each other.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That was already knowledge that the defendant had.
All right. All right. And the court will note for the record that in all of the police reports that the court reviewed, the complainant stated that there was not a relationship between the complainant and the defendants. So that is something that the court takes under advisement, and the state has informed the court that that may have presented more information to them to make an offer different than the one that they have offered. Correct. So with that being said, Mr. Barrios, you
Yes,
know
sir.
yourself better than I do. I don't know you. I do know that you have been unsuccessful on probation before with a possession less than a gram case. Here's where you are now. I can give you 10 years deferred adjudication. I gave the co-defendant 10 years of deferred adjudication. But if you are revoked on this case, as I told you when you entered this plea bargain agreement, you are looking up to life in prison. So here's your choice. I can give you 10 years deferred adjudication, or the state is asking for 5 years prison. So what would you like to do?
Take the 10 years of adjudication.
All right. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Going to take into consideration County Court Cause number 644393. There's to be no contact with Jacob Brown. Taj Matthews. Are you employed? Have you ever worked?
Yes, I
Mr.
have.
Barrios?
Yes, I've worked, but I'm not employed at the moment. I have an injury that I'm working on.
What
So I
type
can't-
of injury?
I fell 25 feet, so I have a messed up wrist. I'm a mechanic, so I can't work at the moment, but I do have a pending injury lawsuit.
Okay, and when did this injury happen? Did this injury happen this year, last year?
November 30th is 2019.
November 30th, 2019?
Correct.
Right. I want proof of employment. Well, obviously, you're going to have to start doing something else. I'm going to want proof of employment within 30 days of release from custody.
That's gonna be you and yours.
There's going to be intensive outpatient drug treatment. How far did you go in school?
12. I almost finished, but when I moved from the East Coast, the credits are wrong, so I just got my GED. It was easier.
All right, 300 hours of community service restitution, or you can pay $7.25 per hour to a food bank, or obtain trade school certificate or higher level of education. There's to be weekly Zoom reporting or in-person reporting if you can't Zoom until further notice. I'm going to want field visits monthly, but random. There's to be random and regular UAs. And I'm sorry, there's also a no contact order with Martin Rodriguez. There's to be no employment with vulnerable persons. What that means is you cannot be a home health care provider, and you cannot do any work that involves children.
Okay. Who's Martin? Just curious.
There's to be curfew, and your curfew is 8 p.m. When the lights come on outside, you had better be in your house.
Yes, Your Honor.
And defense, you said you wanted to transfer?
To Maynard, Texas, isn't that right, Julian?
Correct.
Maynard, Texas.
And which county is that?
It should be Travis County.
All right, transfer to Maynard, Texas, Travis County. Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Barrios, is there anything else that you need to be successful on this probation?
No, I think everything's covered.
Showing you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And just in case you didn't know, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation will go over conditions with you. After you finish speaking to probation in the breakout room, you need to come back to the main room so we can excuse you.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, may I be excused? I have a Zoom in the 226th.
Yes.
Thank you. You have a nice day.
Rebecca, if you'll go to breakout room number 1, and Mr. Barrios, if you'll go to number 1.
Thank you.
All right, and Norma, I got your check box.
Thank you.
So when are we bringing back this case?
On the 24th.
All right.
I left the other ones downstairs. What are y'all gonna do? I know you're gonna demolish.
Judge, if I may.
Just give me a moment. Yes.
Judge, I represent Mr. Edward Ford. He signed on. I've been chatting with David Martin. We have a plea bargain. I sent a copy of it to Norma. I keep losing internet because we're moving. I won't be able to get the paperwork done today. I was wondering if I can get recalled for next week. David said he's okay with it. I've been bounced out like 3 times because on my side.
Norma, can you recall Edward Ford on Monday?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we will see you on Monday.
9 o'clock, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And Carmen, I see you here. Just give me one moment, please.
Of course, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. It's Friday. It's an exciting day, right?
It is.
And I just got my second dose, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I shouldn't say we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be fabulous. I'm not gonna have any side effects.
No, you won't.
All right, and Mr. Ford, you're excused. Martin Guerra.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
We're
morning.
back, and my client, Adrian Arias, he is signed on as well.
All right, Adrian Arias.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you need to show your face. Next time you Zoom on here, you need to show your face. If you can't do it, then you'll have to report from in the courtroom.
I'm showing my face, Your Honor.
That's okay. All right, so the video has been provided to you, Martin, is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, Norma, we're gonna recall this in a month, Martin. And
Okay.
that is gonna be your client's plea deadline case date. This is an old case. And have you received all of the other discovery? No other outstanding discovery?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Norma.
April 9th, Judge. I'm sorry to interrupt. April 9th.
Yep. All right, Mr. Arias.
Yes, ma'am.
April 9th is your plea deadline date. What that means is that the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements after that date. So if there's someone that you need to talk this over with before you make your decision, you need to do that on or before April 9th. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And to the state, I'll need an acknowledgement of discovery on this case, March 26th.
Okay. Martin,
All right.
can you chat me your email?
Yes, I'll send that.
Thanks.
All right, and if there's nothing else, then you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
All right, Joseph Acevedo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, you have Mr. Joel Hernandez.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we may have to do this old school because I don't think there's anyone at the jail to put him on the channel.
Okay, Your Honor. Of course.
Okay. All right. And we're not on the record.
Estamos de vuelta en actas.
Joel Hernandez,
Joel Hernández,
are you able to hear the interpreter?
¿usted puede escuchar a la intérprete?
Give me a thumbs up if you're able to hear her.
Levante el pulgar si puede escuchar a la intérprete.
Yep, just a thumbs up, hands up. Okay. All right. Mr. Acevedo, have you received all the discovery in this case?
Señora Acevedo, ¿usted ha recibido todo el intercambio de pruebas en este caso?
Judge, I wouldn't know. I think that's a question for the state if they've provided me everything.
Señoría, yo no lo sabría. Creo que esta es una pregunta para el Estado, si me han aportado todo.
All right, this is what I'm going to do because I see this case was indicted in 2021.
Esto es lo que voy a hacer porque veo que este caso fue la acusación formal en el 2021.
We're going to recall this case in 1 month.
Vamos a reprogramar este caso para un mes.
Norma, is April 9th okay?
Norma, ¿está bien el 9 de abril? Sí, su señoría.
So we're going to recall this case on April 9th.
Vamos a volver a llamar esta causa el 9 de abril.
At that time, state, I want an acknowledgement of discovery completed.
Para esa fecha, Estado, quiero un reconocimiento de intercambio de pruebas ya completo.
If there are issues with the discovery at that time,
Si hay
state,
problemas,
let me know.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Estado, si hay problemas con el reconocimiento de intercambio de pruebas, hágamelo saber.
Mr. Hernandez, do you have any questions?
Señor Hernández, ¿tiene alguna pregunta?
All right, we will see you April 9th.
Entonces
Thank you,
lo veremos el 9 de abril. Gracias, su señoría.
And Joseph Acevedo, is your client a citizen or not?
José Acevedo, ¿su cliente es ciudadano o no?
With all due respect, Your Honor, I don't want to answer that question.
Con todo
All right.
respeto, su señoría, no quiero responder esa pregunta.
All right, I understand, but the reason why I need to know, because there's different paperwork if he is not a citizen.
Lo entiendo, pero la razón por la que lo pregunto
I
es porque
understand,
hay
Your Honor, but
documentación
I'm not going to
diferente
answer
si
that
su
question at this
cliente no
time.
es ciudadano. Lo entiendo, su señoría, pero en este momento no voy a responder esa pregunta.
All right, then I understand that. So this is what's going to end up happening. When we come back on April 9th, and I give you all a plea deadline date,
Está bien, esto es lo que va a suceder. Lo entiendo, pero esto es lo que va a suceder. Si regresamos el 9 de abril y le doy una fecha límite para un convenio declaratorio,
I'm not going to want to hear
no voy a querer oír
that he needs to speak to an immigration attorney.
que tiene que hablar él con un abogado de migración.
So if there are immigration issues,
Así que si hay cuestiones de migración,
that needs to be done and addressed before he comes back to this courtroom.
eso se tiene que hacer y abordar antes de que regrese a este tribunal.
All right.
Está bien.
Thank you, Carmen.
My pleasure, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Have a great weekend.
Yes. Norma, you can send Mr. Hernandez back.
Thank you.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a nice weekend.
All right, you too. All right, Jacqueline Lamerson, you're back.
That's correct, Judge. We are back. We've talked a bit about different offers. We don't have a yes or no on PTD, which was what I had asked for today. They're, doing their due diligence on deciding whether they can offer that or not.
All right, when will we have a decision on that?
I'm not sure, Judge. That would be
Who were you conferring with?
Alexandra.
All right, Alexandra, do you know if we're going to have a report back on whether they're approved for pretrial diversion or not?
Oh, it hasn't even been submitted, Judge. Jacqueline, this is the first we've discussed it, and I still need to decide if I want to even submit it for that.
Okay, how much time do you need to make a decision on that?
Probably just a week, Judge.
All right. Norma, can we recall this the week of March 22nd, please?
Yes, ma'am, the 24th.
All right, we'll be back on March 24th for an update on the pretrial diversion decision.
All right, very good. May we be excused?
Yes, you're excused.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, Judge.
All right, you too. All right, David Woodard. Has anyone conferred with John Kuntz?
I'm here, Judge.
All right.
Judge, Tom and I have conferred on this case a number of times.
Yes, and where is your client in custody?
No, he's on, I see him on screen as Trey Duncan there.
Trey Duncan, you need to unmute, I'm sorry, you need to show your video. All right, as soon as your client shows his video, we'll take that up.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. On Shelley Vaughn, what is happening with Shelley Vaughn, David Woodard?
Judge, I got a setting from Norma that there was a violation. I'm assuming of her pretrial conditions.
Yes. This is the third violation report, and they're saying that she missed reporting.
That's correct, Judge.
So why is this happening?
You would probably have to ask her, Judge, but I don't think she is in the state. I think that's the main issue. The last
You
time
can
we
pick up
had
the phone
court,
and call somebody?
the last time we had court, Judge, she was in, I believe, Washington. And I don't know if she's still there or not.
Miss Shelley Vaughn, why
Yeah.
are you not reporting to pretrial services?
I just was in contact with a lawyer. I don't know. I got failed. I apologize.
No, this is your third violation report, so apologies are not enough. Do you understand? Do you want to have your case heard while you are in custody?
No, ma'am.
You are behaving as though you do. Because I have this report, and what it says is that you will not contact them, and they have no idea where you are. They've said they've tried to bring you into compliance by sending text messages, contacting the attorney of record. They've attempted contact at the numbers that you've given, the references you've given, that being John Neville and Autumn Pace. So, Norma, can you have a pretrial services officer zoom in here, please?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, Shelley Vaughn. This is the absolute last time that you and I are going to have a conversation. How old are you?
47.
You are old enough to know that you need to handle your cases, and in the words that other people use, you need to handle your business.
Yes, ma'am.
If you cannot handle your business appropriately with this court by reporting, then I'm going to help you stay in contact with everybody by having you at the Bexar County Jail. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to have the pretrial services officer zoom in here. You're going to give them your contact information. If you miss one time reporting for them, we are not having a face-to-face visit anymore. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And this case, defense, have you had a chance to speak to, confer with someone over her actual case?
Judge, I think we did confer the last setting. My only information on the setting this morning was for the pretrial condition violations.
All right, you want to confer with them? Because somebody actually gave her a bond. It wasn't the court, because I remanded her without bond on January 14th. And someone else gave her a bond, and now she's still not reporting. So would you like to confer with the state on her actual case?
I can, Judge. I don't have her case in front of me, but I can since I'm on.
All right. Who's available to confer with Mr. Dawes? I'm sorry, Mr. Woodard, while we await pretrial services officer to zoom in?
I'm available, Judge.
All right. David, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3, and Alexandra Williamson will meet you there. All right. And who is the attorney on Montoya Callahan?
That's Sean Dawes.
That is me, Your Honor.
All right, Sean. I have the violation report. Where's your client?
I don't believe she's here, Your Honor. I was requesting, we have an offer from the state, so I am requesting some additional time to try and track her down. It's a very good offer.
All right, I'm going to recall this case for Monday.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and I'll note that your client was a no-show today. And do you have the violation report?
Yes, Your Honor. She just picked up a new DWI.
All right. We'll recall it for Monday.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
congratulations on your new position.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Mr. Trey Duncan, show your video.
I just talked to him on the phone, Judge, and he's about to, so give him 1 second. There he is.
All righty. So what is happening with this case?
We're kind of at a stalemate at this point, Judge, I would say.
All right, is there any outstanding discovery?
I don't know that I can answer that question right now, to be perfectly honest with you, Judge.
All right. State, are you able to obtain or complete the acknowledgement discovery before April 9th?
Sure. I mean, yeah, I can send it to her.
I believe they're supposed to be sending us some stuff on witness statements that have come in the last month or two.
All right, Norma, when can we recall this in 1 month, please?
Yes, ma'am. April 9th.
All right, we'll
Okay.
see you back on April 9th. We're going to find out where the discovery is.
Thank you.
Mr. Duncan?
I think he froze, it looked like.
All right, John?
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
client has problems with Zoom on April 9th.
There he is.
The next time, he's going to have to appear in court.
Okay. And Judge, can I bother you about one other quick matter not relating to Trey Duncan?
Yes.
I filed a motion to set bond on a client who was taken into custody the other day on an MTR, and I was just going to ask if there was any chance you could take a look at it today.
And who is that person?
Valerie Helene Hernandez.
I don't have any documents on that. Have you conferred with the state?
I have not conferred with the state. I just filed, she was taken into custody a couple of days ago. I filed the motion immediately because it's a remand without bond.
The motion, I believe, is in your folder, Judge. Oh, in the pink one.
All right, just one moment. Mr. Trey Duncan, you're excused. We'll bring you back on April 9th to see where we are on discovery.
Can he be excused, Judge?
Yes, I said he's excused.
Thank you. Trey, you can hang up.
All right, to the clerks in the back, could I have the actual court file on Valerie Hernandez, 2019 CR 2601, please? Thank you. Ray Martinez, you're back.
Yes, Judge, I was to talk to you about Manuel Leal. It was a motion to set bond as well, but it's not an MTR. He's just remanded because he missed court the last setting. And I did file motions and I've been conferring with Tom about it.
All right, I think there's a reason why I have him remanded, but we shall see. I'll check my file.
He had a GPS violation, Judge.
And what was the GPS violation for?
Either leaving when he wasn't supposed to or removing the device altogether. I'm not sure, Judge. I just now started representing him.
Wait, when you say leaving with the device, what do you mean?
Like if he was restricted at home and he left without permission.
Okay,
It was
then
either
that's
or
not a
taking-
good start.
No, it's not, Judge, but because he's not in a category of persons not entitled to a bond, I mean, I'm assuming the court will set something.
All right, and could I have the files on these cases, please? Thank you. All right, Shelley Vaughn. Thank you for coming, Adrian.
Yes, hello, Judge.
Hi.
How's it going? Good morning.
This is Shelley Vaughn, the person that hasn't been contacting pretrial services.
Yes, wait, is she with us right now?
I have a third violation report from you all.
Yes, ma'am. I've been trying to get a hold of her. Did she have my number? Because the numbers we have, I've been trying to reach them.
Oh, no, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with her right now. And what I want you to do is get all her contact information. And if she missed contacting you at any time, for any reason whatsoever, I want to know about it.
Yes, ma'am. We'll do. Yes, Judge. Sorry.
All right. So, Ms. Vaughn, I'm sending you to breakout room number 2. And Norma, before you go, Ms. Vaughn, Norma, when can we come back on this case?
Judge, I think David Woodward's talking to the prosecutors right now.
Okay.
You want to?
All right, Miss Vaughn is going to be in a breakout room. Adrian, when you speak with her, just have her come back to the main room. So I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. And when you finish talking to her, tell her to come back to the main room.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. You can call me ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So I've sent you to breakout room number 2, if you'll go there. Thank you. All right. On Valerie Hernandez.
That's John Coombs.
John Coombs, Valerie Hernandez. All righty.
Hey, I'm here, Judge. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the question becomes, she was taken into custody from the courtroom. There has to be a reason for that.
No, she wasn't taken into custody in the courtroom. She was arrested driving on Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day that was. She was with her mother driving.
Mm-hmm. Okay, John, on this one,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not inclined to give her a bond because she was in felony drug court. She's supposed to be in safety through felony drug court, but obviously she didn't go. And according to the motion to revoke, which I'm not taking any of it to be true, but there's continued alcohol use that's being alleged. So I'm not inclined to give her a bond.
Well, and I understand where you're coming from, Judge. I think one alternative that maybe you haven't thought about is if you could release her and let her come stay with you. If that would be okay. Maybe if she needs a little bit of Judge Boyd's love, that's what she needs.
Okay.
Maybe. Come on.
Hey, you know what? That's a good alternative. If only I was going to be here.
You can set her straight. You can set her straight. I promise you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm not inclined to give her a bond.
Okay. I will let the family know, Judge. I appreciate you taking the time to look at it.
Sure, no problem. If you want this set on the docket soon, we can have it set on the docket.
Okay. Let me get with the family and figure out, and we'll go from there.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a nice weekend.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Can I see one of the clerks, please? Let me give you this to put in this system. Thank you. All right, James Toshi. Mr. Ford is here. Oh, you're not with Mr. Ford. Who are you here for?
Judge, I told you I wanted to come back to discuss the MTR that we did a couple of days ago. So it's an off-docket matter. I can wait.
Okay, just give me 1 second then, because yours may take longer. Ray Martinez.
Yes, Your Honor.
I see the information on Manuel Leal. And your client doesn't appear for his court settings. That's why he's remanded without bond.
Yeah,
He also keeps picking up new cases.
that's when I noticed that he did not appear, Judge. That's the reason.
Yeah. So, I mean, as you know, part of giving somebody a bond is the fact that they actually appear, and your client hasn't been appearing. So, I mean, if you want to have a hearing We can set this for a hearing. I'll hear whatever witnesses anyone wants to present. But I'm not inclined to set a bond. If you want, I can, if there's no objections from the state, that's going to be recalled for next week or the week after next.
Judge, if we could recall it next week, like I said, I just got hired. I would be happy to try to work on the merits of the cases versus spending too much time on the bond. If you could give us the soonest available date.
All right.
Yeah, 3 state jail counties.
State, are you okay with recalling this for next week? And Norma, can we set this for next week?
Ray, who are you talking to?
Anyone who's handling Manuel Leal?
I had spoken to Tom about the bonds. We didn't talk about the merits of the cases, just the bonds.
Oh,
But
okay,
I'm
yeah.
happy to refer about the merits.
Okay,
There's
that's fine.
3 burglaries of a building.
Sure, yeah.
All right, Norma, can you recall Mr. Leal sometime next week?
Yes, ma'am. I can either do Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, Judge.
Monday's best for me, Judge, if you don't mind.
Okay. State, are you okay with Monday?
That should be fine, Judge.
All right. Then we will see you on Monday, March 8th.
Thank you, Judge.
Norma, do you need the case numbers?
I have them, Judge. Thank you.
All right. All right, James Toshi. And I'm sorry, Rebecca, did you finish with Mr. Barrios?
Yes.
All right, Norma, you can let them know that Mr. Barrios can go back. And Mr. Toshi, which case are you on?
Judge, it's the motion to revoke we did in your courtroom on Richard Blanco. I know you haven't already forgotten about it, or maybe you have, I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So there has been a further erosion of my relationship with the family that is not currently in custody. And I know that we had reset his sentencing date out to the 24th, but at this point, I'm seeing if we can bump that up. That way I can dispose of my representation of Mr. Blanco and move on to other clients. If not, no worries. I can appear on the 24th.
No. I mean, if you want to, either we can set it next week, or either we can do it the week of the 15th. If we do it the week of the 15th, another judge will be hearing this.
Judge, I would object to that since you are the one that heard the actual facts.
So it's either next week if we have room for it. Norma, do we have room for a sentencing on Mr. Blanco next week?
Yes, ma'am. We can either do it Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, Judge.
I'm cool with Monday.
All right, well, here's the thing though. Mr. Toshi, are you gonna have witnesses?
No, ma'am.
All right, then we can do it Monday.
Okay.
Unless Richard wants to say something. I don't want to lie to you, but I imagine he's going to say some stuff.
Well, we probably need to set it so Norma know whether to put it in the morning and in the afternoon.
I can't imagine it would be long. I don't know. I just, I'm in an awkward spot.
All right, so we'll do it Monday afternoon.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank y'all. Everyone have a great weekend.
All right, you too.
Judge, I'm back on Shelley Vaughn.
All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 2. She's in breakout room number 2 with the pretrial services officer.
Okay.
And everyone, just give me one moment, please. Mr. Ford? Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Ford, your attorney told us that you all had worked out an agreement, but he was having trouble with his Wi-Fi. So we're going to come back on your case on Monday, March 8th, okay?
Okay.
All right. And could you put your email address in the chat box to Norma Ferguson? She's listed as Ferguson Coordinator.
So how do I just click on it? Click on the box?
Oh, click on the box that says chat.
And to everyone or just to Norma Ferguson?
Just to Ferguson. That way she'll have your email address to send you paperwork.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see how to do it?
Yes, ma'am. I think I'm doing it now.
All right, thank you. And then after that, you're excused. We'll see you on Monday.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I think she got it.
All right, thank you. You're excused. We'll see you on Monday.
Yes, ma'am. You have a great day.
All right, you too. Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, they only have to pay 10%, so 3,500. On June 30th. Well, there's one that's like in the very minutes. How did you get the case for the your case looks like it's still pending. No, it should be points right for
Hi, Adrian, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. I explained to Ms. Vaughn the rules, the procedures while being under pretrial services. I just wanted to get with you, Your Honor. Usually for pretrial services, being under my section, the defendant has to report on every 2 months, either by phone or by email, due to the COVID situation. You would still like that to happen, or you want to change up the scheduled check-in? Like,
all right. She needs to have her scheduled check-in changed. And I want her to report 2 times a month to you. And she can report by phone because my understanding she's not in Texas.
yes, I did explain to her. She said she was getting a government phone in time being. I told her as well, if possible, to report by email since Wi-Fi, she might have access to easier Wi-Fi. But if I could have her report in twice a month, if that's.
Yes. So she's to report in twice a month until further notice.
So further notice, okay, all right. Because I did explain to her until like where, if you want her to change the scheduling, I'll let her know as well. I think she's with us right now.
All right, Ms. Vaughn, do you understand what you're supposed to be doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the consequences if you don't do what you're supposed to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have the contact information for pretrial services?
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Gonzalez. You can, you're excused.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's
Thank
last
you.
name's us.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right. David, did you have a chance to confer with the state on this?
I did, Judge.
All right. So where are we?
I think the state's in the process of trying to make contact with the complaining witness.
All right.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So Norma, can you give this a regular reset, please?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. All right, I can do April 9th.
All right. So we're going to come back on April 9th. And we will see you then. And when you come back on April 9th, I'm going to give you a plea deadline date, Ms. Vaughn.
Thank you.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
All right, thanks, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good one, David.
You too.
All right, everyone, we're going to stop the live feed. Hopefully everyone has a great weekend, a safe weekend. Wear masks.